This is a Balanced Brain podcast with your hosts, Melanie Nicholson and Sean Clift.
Welcome back to the Balanced Brain podcast. My name's Sean Clift. We're going to do another one of our Brain Snap episodes. We're going to give our co-host, Melanie Nicholson, a call. She's been doing something really interesting, which is some dance meditation. So I want to give her a buzz and check out what it's about, get some more information. So let's give her a call now.
Hi, Sean. How are you going?
Yeah, really good, Mel. You're being recorded for the podcast, but I'm giving you a ring for one of our brain snaps, and I just wanted to get some more information from you on what you were telling me about the other day with your dance meditation. What's it all about?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 18 months. So kind of in the middle of COVID, it was a really good opportunity for me to just get back into community, and we do it in a big hall, big dance hall. And it's a worldwide movement called Five Rhythms, and it was created by a dancer called Gabrielle Roth, and she passed away in 2012. She was 71, but it's all around the world, and it's like in lots of different countries, and people come together, and yeah, it's basically dance meditation, but it has a philosophy behind it.
What's some of the philosophy?
So the five rhythms are moving through five different emotions, and it's basically, the mantra is five rhythms where the body becomes the spiritual path. So it's a dynamic movement practice, I guess, of being in your body, and it goes through, so we have 2 or 3 songs for each rhythm, and it's flowing, staccato, which is like disconnected, chaos, lyrical, which is expressing emotions, and then we finish with stillness. And it's to, you go through all the emotions of fear, anger, sadness, joy, and compassion. So it's for some people it's pretty full on. You're just turning up and with strangers every Sunday morning, completely sober, because it's like Sunday morning. And we have a facilitator. She's beautiful, Michelle, and she does all the soundtrack and the music and some voice throughout, just directing us throughout the 2 hours. And it's just basically 20 people who turn up in a room, and you dance to the music. And initially when I first started, you can be quite shy. Like, it's really hard to dance in front of strangers. And
I get shy dancing in front of my friends.
Yes. So you kind of start, before we even start, you sort of come into the room, and there's no talking throughout the dance. And so you just kind of sit, a lot of people lie on the floor, you do some stretching, and you just come into the room, basically, like leave everything outside and come into the room and just experience it. So a few people start off like the first couple of songs just kind of lying down, but then, once it gets started, people get up, and 18 months later, I don't have any embarrassment or anything like that. It's all. So
you've been doing it for 18 months?
Yeah, 18 months.
How come I haven't known about this?
I don't tell a lot of people about it. I don't know why, but it's a commitment, and I don't like missing out on it. So I haven't. I haven't, especially in the last few months, I haven't missed too many of them, but it's just really beautiful, and it's really interesting to see. We have at least, 3 or 4 men turn up sometimes, and just like, they're not dancers, and it's just been really nice to see that as well. And there's just no self-consciousness whatsoever. Like, no one's judging anyone. You're not there to judge other people's dancing, because what happens when the music starts is that people just go into their own space. Yeah. And it's basically trying to get out of your head and into your body through dance. And that can take a while. There's no, that can take a while depending on, what your day's like. And you come in and then sometimes you might not like the music, and Michelle will direct us through that. Like, it's just going with the flow with that, and just dancing where your body takes you.
So there's no, you're not learning steps or anything like that. It's sort of free dancing. It's your own sort of expression.
And yeah, that's what I think. And on, if you go onto Five Rhythms website, it basically says freestyle movement, dance, meditation, and that's exactly what it is. You can move any way you want, and then there is a challenging part in both parts of the dance where you do dance with someone, and it's completely voluntary, but most people do, because that's where the challenge is. Like, you've been in your own space for, even in this room full of people, and then you'll be asked to invite someone into your space to dance, and that is where the real connection is.
Right, and that's a stranger generally?
Sorry?
That's generally a stranger? You don't know that person?
No,
Wow,
you don't know that person. Yeah, absolutely. And you might know some of the regular dancers that come along, but Michelle always encourages you to dance with someone you haven't danced, if that's the case. And it's only just for a few moments. Like, it might even be, a minute. But at the end, we talk about, what we were going through that day, and a lot of people mention that is a challenge, and when they push through that, it's actually just a beautiful way of connecting. And, some dances you go to, depending on who's there in the room at the end, you just feel this amazing connection with everyone in the room.
Yeah.
I do want to tell you something funny that happened a couple of Sundays ago, because we're in a community hall and what's quite a busy street with cafes.
Yep.
And when people are walking along, we can only see the top of their heads. So you have to not get distracted about people walking on the sidewalk. But a couple of Sundays ago, we had this group of guys walk past, and they jumped up and they saw what we're doing, and everyone was really curious, and then they started blowing kisses at us. But they weren't laughing. Yeah, they weren't laughing at us. There was just a lot of curiosity about how people were coming together dancing in a hall. So,
yeah, and it must be pretty bizarre. I mean, if you walk past somewhere on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock at night and people are dancing, you wouldn't look twice. But on a Sunday morning,
next to a church, and sometimes the music's like trance music, or
it
can be quite a heavy beat if we're going through the chaos stage, and so the music, depending on where the wind is, can be really loud, and so passerbys like, what's going on in there? So yeah. But it's been a really amazing.
So what's the main things you've got out of it?
So the really important thing is for me to get out of my head. I've got really quite an analytical mind. So I'm always thinking. So it just gives me an opportunity to go there and get out of that space. The other important thing for me has been to reconnect with community. The last couple of years, people have felt quite disconnected from other people. I felt that greatly. So it's been really important for me to just meet different people. Even though we don't talk during the dance, afterwards you build connection through silence and through dancing together. And that is another thing that I've found that I've got out of it, where you don't need to speak to build connection, even though we're running this podcast. I mean, it's just a different way of connecting with people. And also it's getting rid of any self-doubt and being embarrassed about things, like just letting it all out, I know it, even when I was talking to my sister about it, she's like, I don't think I could do that.
I'd be thinking the same. I mean, it sounds terrifying to me, but.
But that's it's moving through that terror. And I think that's what's really given me, it's just an extra confidence over the last 18 months with turning up. And I it's really important for me. Like, I really look forward to it. And even if I'm feeling a little bit off on that Sunday, I'll still make myself go there as a discipline. For me, it's a discipline as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's a practice in self-love. Like, it's entirely about self-love and owning all your emotions. That's the whole important part of it. So when we go through the 5 emotions of fear, anger, sadness, joy, and compassion, it really is about that. And of course, the overarching philosophy is body, heart, mind, soul, and spirit.
Right.
And looking at your health in that holistic being through dancing. So yeah, it's been incredible.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing, Mel. It sounds really interesting. So what's the actual name of it again?
It's called 5 Rhythms.
5 Rhythms.
So,
we should put rhythms. a link on our notes so people can check it out. Sounds really interesting. I mean, that you and I are a big advocate for meditation, but this seems like a really different way of doing it. But when you think about it, I guess it's got the same sort of principles. I mean, you know, once you start sort of dancing to, you know, a rhythm or a beat or music, there's that frequency there, which sort of helps with meditation. But also the fact that once your body starts going, you're really not thinking, are you? You're sort of,
That's right.
you're just sort of going with the flow a little bit.
And the other thing that I wanted to point out, I was reading a bit on Gabrielle Roth the other day, and part of what she was doing when she was teaching was that a lot of her students had difficulty breathing. Yeah. So breath work is really integral to the dance meditation.
Yeah, right.
And just becoming aware of your breath through the meditation. So it absolutely is just another way to meditate, but it's fun.
Wow.
Well, not the meditation's not fun, but it's just a different way to experience meditation and the breath and being with yourself.
So if there's nothing available like that for people in their area, would you recommend that they could do something like that on their own?
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, I've even, when I've had, you know, when I was coaching clients over the last couple of years, it was amazing the amount of people I spoke to who love dancing by themselves and they put on their favourite music.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much the only way I like dancing, really, is by myself. And not really
tell the people, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'd recommend if anyone's listening. You know, don't be self-conscious. Just put on your favourite music loud when you know you're going to be alone and you're not going to have interruptions, and just start that way and see how you feel.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's something that we all do, isn't it, really, on our own? We crank up some music and get some dance music going in the lounge room. It always makes you feel better.
Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of silent dancers out there.
Well, I'd agree with you. Probably there'd be a lot of people that wouldn't want to do it in public, but be happy to do it in their own lounge room.
Yeah, so I would start there, and if anyone's feeling brave, then they can turn up. I mean, there's not just By the Rhythms. There's quite a lot of places now that do dance meditation. So yeah, if you want to really push yourself, then get out there, and I don't think that anyone would regret it.
Wow. There you go, folks. Dance meditation, another thing that you can check out. Mel, thanks so much for sharing your experience. It sounds fascinating, and enjoy Sunday.
I will.
All right, Mel, great to catch up. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thanks, Sean.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, folks. Dance meditation, something that you could probably try in your own lounge room. You know, it always makes you feel good when you crank up your favourite music and sort of, you know, blast it out on a good stereo. So, you know, we can give that a go in your own lounge room. Thanks, everyone. Bye.